welcome to another episode of Put It Together. It is Saturday, April 8th, 2023. I want to welcome everybody who's watching us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and LinkedIn. Sorry about that. Please like, share, and comment on it. Please join us in the conversation today and make sure that you share it so that other people on your page can watch along with you. I know where my brain is this morning. For those of you watching us on YouTube, thank you for watching. Do us a favor, scroll down, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. It'll let you know every time there's a new show on the network. Remember, we got horoscopes on Monday on all of our platforms. On Wednesdays, it's Kristen and Daniel's show at 6 p.m. 9 Eastern. On Fridays is Zodiac with Richard Wayne Kilgo and myself at 6, 9 Eastern. And then on Saturdays, we're here with Put It Together at noon, 3 Eastern. And remember, we got pop-up shows along the week, so you want to hit that bell so they let you know whenever a new show starts. Today, I'm pretty excited. I know, I'm excited every time I have a new show, but I'm excited today because we have a new artist. He's been around for a little bit, but this is one of his first interviews, and I'm really excited that he chose our shows to do it. I'm going to talk about Jonah C. He's a 19-year-old rapper from Southern California, representing his collective CaliKin, CaliKin. Jonah prides himself in his lyrical ability and his content, which represents his real life. Jonah is recently coming up of the release of his third solo project titled I Mean What I Said, but I'm Sorry I Said It. How many of us have not done that in a relationship? And it's excited to share with anybody who will listen. And we hope that you folks will listen to the show today. Let me bring him on stage. Jonah C, how you doing?
I'm doing good. And yourself?
I'm doing well, thank you. I apologize for those of you that want to know how, always want to know how I met my guest. Jonah C was a referral to the show from our good friend Tony Gala. Hello, Tony Gala, se lo estás viendo, saludos. Tony Gala said, you got to listen to this guy, bring him on your show, and I did, and he's here. Plus, that song, let me say that again, sorry to mess it up. I meant what I said, but I'm sorry I said it. Many of my relationships have ended that way. Like, I meant what I said. I'm sorry I said it, but I meant it. So we'll get into how that came about and all later. But ¿cómo estás? Buenos días. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, and thank you, Tony, for putting in that referral.
Tony is a good friend of the show and a personal friend. For those of you that have followed the card Divo, El Divo de las Cartas, you might have heard this. Tony is El Padrino. He is my godfather of El Divo de las Cartas. He gave me that nickname several years ago. So everywhere I go, I always tell people that story. But saludos, Tony. I hope you're watching. Also, for those of you watching, I want to remind you that you are part of the show. So make sure that you have any questions or any comments that you join us and be part of it. Well, I know you got a really good story, so I'm not going to hold back. Let's get started. Jonah C, tell us how you put it together.
Okay, so it probably started when I was like 12 or 13, like in 8th grade. Me and my friend Amari, who's like another one of the artists on CaliKin Records, we just started like rapping just for fun, and it was kind of like a joke at first. Like we would just tell people, like we would make like some outlandish music, like kind of inspired by like Odd Future and stuff of that vein. And yeah, we were just like, we would go to my friend Jose's house and we would just like try to record whatever we could, and none of it was good. None of it ever got put out, but I mean, yeah, we were laying the foundation at the time, and like we were always writing stuff. Like we always kind of took it seriously, even though like it was still like a joke. I don't know. It was kind of just like a way to downplay it, I guess. But yeah, that went on for like a couple years. Well, probably like a year. Like we were just like we would record stuff, write stuff, but not really like put any of it out. And then like a year later, once we were like in high school, kind of like a lot of people started like rapping and trying to do music and stuff. And we noticed that, or well, in our opinions, it wasn't very good. So yeah, we just decided like, yeah, it's probably time that we start putting stuff out, because like we could do what, like they're getting listens, they're getting plays. We could do better than what they're doing, and we could probably get a lot more listens than they do. So we started doing that. We made like one song when I was a freshman. It was called Scooby Doo. And yeah, it was still kind of like a just a messing around song, but it was I don't know, people liked it. And then I didn't put out any more music for like probably 2 years. I was still writing though a lot, and I was recording off of my phone, like my headphones and my phone using GarageBand. So I would just like download beats off of YouTube, put them into GarageBand, and then just record with my headphones. And then I did that. I probably went like 2 years again without putting anything else out. So until I was like a junior, and then I started working on my first like solo project, which is called Where You At? And I don't know, it's kind of just like about where I was at at the time. I put that out. I think it was during quarantine that I put that out, and I started recording. I stopped using my phone to record. I got a Blue Yeti microphone, and yeah, that helped a lot. The quality was definitely a lot better. I still didn't really know how to like mix or master or anything, but it like the quality is definitely a lot better. And then I put that project out, and that was like a serious project for me. Like that was when I decided like I want to start talking about my real life and like things that are really going on, because at that point it kind of just became like an outlet for me. Like I kind of felt like I had to talk about that stuff on songs because I'm not really that good at talking like in person. So it's like stuff that I can't really, it's a lot easier to talk about it in a song than it is to tell people about. And then people just happen to relate to it too. So you can maybe help somebody out with their issues if you're talking about yours in a song.
Yeah.
So then yeah, I was working on that project. It took me a really long time to put that one out, and people liked it. I got a lot more support than I thought I would, and that's usually how it goes whenever I put something out. Like my self-esteem will go down just for no reason. Like I just get in my own head, and then I put something out and I see how many people like I actually have like behind me, like supporting me, and it gives me like a lot more motivation every time I put something out. So it's nice. I definitely have a solid foundation,
Yeah.
good friends, good fans.
Yeah.
Um, and mostly it's just like my friends, but it seems like they genuinely like mess with what I'm doing, like they genuinely support me. So, I mean, that's all I need right now. I'm just like being myself on these songs too. I feel like being authentic with my music is always gonna like no matter what I do, I can always look back at that at least and just be like, "Oh, okay, like at least I remember like the point in time where I was feeling this way." Um, so I don't know. It's something to
Yeah.
fall back on, I guess.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that you've unpacked here that is really cool. Number one, um, you mentioned like you were like, let's just do it. Like let's just record something.
Yeah.
Um, Folks that follow me know I do life coaching, spiritual life coaching, and
Mhm.
one of the things that I tell my clients when they come to me and like, well, I used to have this dream or I used to have this goal, and I'm like, what happened? They're like, well, I keep planning it. I'm like, don't plan it,
Yeah.
just do it. Take that first step.
Mhm.
Like you're not gonna know if you're good unless you take the first step, and then you can realize like, okay, well maybe I'm not that good at writing lyrics. Let me find somebody to help me, or
Yeah.
I can play the guitar, but I don't know drums. Let me
Mhm.
find somebody. You know what I mean? Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like, when I first started, I was trying to, like, make the beats for myself too, and then, I kept, like, putting in, like, a lot of hours into beat making, and my beats were just not good. I know you have to put in, like, a ton of work to get good at that kinda stuff, but I just decided I wanna focus on the vocals, and, sometimes people send me beats, sometimes I just get them off of YouTube still, but, that's definitely something that is not for me, I think. Not
Yeah,
at this time.
and you grow. I mean, you grow up, and um, I wrote here the comparing thing. I believe that there's good comparison and then there's bad comparison. As
Yeah.
you know, I like to compare my. I like to watch what other people are doing, like in the
Mhm.
different things that I do. As a matter, as a like, okay, so this host is doing this type of shows. Okay, I dig it. Those aren't for me. I'm not going to do that, but at least I'm keeping an eye on what's happening
Yeah.
around me. Uh, Bad is when I'm like, okay, well, Jonah's doing this. I'm going to do the same thing,
Hmm.
because then you're not being, because you said it. You're not being authentic.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I think that definitely falls into like the being authentic thing. There are people that like I used to like try to record with and stuff whose music like I genuinely like and like I genuinely like them as people, and they're like doing a lot better than me. They'll do like shows or they'll get a lot more plays than me. So it was like I was kind of just trying to like run with them for a little bit just to, I don't know, like ride their coattails or something, but then I just realized like it's like we're just in completely different lanes, and like I just gotta keep doing me because I feel like that's gonna always just give me the advantage.
And that's such a mature way of looking at it. Is like, because most people would not catch on to that until they completely lose their own identity. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, yes, like somebody says, hey, join us, and you're like, okay, because you're famous, you have a lot of followers,
Hmm.
whatever, and you're like tagging along with them, and then all of a sudden you realize that your thoughts, your opinions are so far behind you, and
Yeah.
now you're trying to reconnect with yourself.
Yeah. And like to keeping true to myself is something that I feel like is very important to me, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna just stop doing that just for some extra listens or something. I feel like eventually it's gonna catch on. I just gotta keep working on what I'm doing, and like I said, it's always just something to fall back on. Like even if nobody listens to my next project, I'll always be able to look back on it and just be like, at least I said how I was feeling at that time.
And it especially during the lockdown, because like for instance, we look back at the shows that we were doing at the Christian and Daniel show
Mhm.
started at the beginning of the lockdown. So the first like 40 shows are lockdown shows. But
Mhm.
we like to go back sometimes, or I do go back and look at them and go, oh, wow, like my mind was in such a different
Yeah,
space. Have you, I mean, you're still young and you're young in your career, but are you able to look back at that first music and go, oh, dang, that's what I was thinking then?
yeah. Especially like my second album. Uh, it was called In My Hands. It was like, so I was working on that one for a long time, and then I went through like a breakup, and so I just completely scrapped everything that I was working on for that album, and then just decided in like 2 weeks I just wrote like 7 songs about that, and it was like I was in such a different headspace than I am now. But it's cool because like you could kind of see the progression. I feel like all the albums, like the order of the songs is like kind of a progression from like the beginning of like this time period to the end. So like the first song, like you could tell like I'm kind of not happy, and then by the end, like it's kind of like a sign of where things were about to start going for me. So it's still cool to just see like, oh yeah, I knew that this was gonna happen, and or like, oh yeah, I was like really feeling genuinely sad in that moment.
Now, let me ask you this question: when you listen to that for instance, that material,
Hmm.
does it still feel like you, or do you step back and go, "Who is that dude? Like, what
Nah,
happened?"
it always feels like me. I think I'm good at like even like the super old stuff, like first ever songs that we were making where I wish it wasn't me. I can still look back and just be like, yeah, that was me, and that was just me at that time, but it's still me.
Now, we are in these times, especially in the music industry. There is so much competition. There is so much out there virtually. Like you don't even have to go to a studio to record. You can just put your
Yeah.
stuff out. Independent music.
Hmm.
Uh, why? I'm gonna pretend like I'm an older, very good looking cousin.
Yeah.
But it's gonna like, why would you want to choose this? Why music if it's so competitive and there's so much competition out there?
Um. Well, when I first started, I felt like because I was young, I was kind of at an advantage because I was like 12 or 13, so I like had a lot of time. And then it was kind of just like I said, like an outlet for me. So I like putting stuff out and seeing the reception. Like I don't get like crazy numbers, but it still makes me feel good. And like seeing, I would rather have like 10 people text me that they genuinely like resonated with what I put out than have like 1,000 listens. So that's what I do it for. I like it when people like my music. And it's not even really about like making it or like doing it big or anything. Like I do like small open mics and people clap for me. So I don't that stuff is just like it's super fulfilling. It's like it's nice to put in work to something that you genuinely love and then just see people just I don't know, see people like it. It's like
Yeah,
it's a
I,
very
I dig
nice
it.
feeling.
I tell people when I pitch them to come on the show, and they're like celebrities, big names. I'm like, look, I don't have a huge following, but I have a very loyal following, and
Yeah.
they will watch and they will comment and they will pay attention. So for everybody watching, please join the conversation. Any questions or comments you have for Jonah C about his music, let us know. But stick around. We're going to be playing one of Jonah's videos a little later, so don't go anywhere with that. The life of an artist, because you mentioned like basically the music is your journal.
Mhm.
If we listened to your journal, um, what kind of stories does Jonah like to tell?
Um so the first album, it was kind of just like or actually I'll just talk about the most recent one. The most recent album, I meant what I said, but I'm sorry I said it. It's about like um kind of just learning to just be you and not really care what people say. I feel like that's like a super cliche message, but like um so the song that you're gonna play, Don't Know, that song is like it's also somebody else that I was working with at the time who kept telling me that like I was doing stuff wrong or like I didn't sound like how I was supposed to sound. And that would kind of upset me because like they were also doing like such different type of music. Like they just like genuinely didn't understand or didn't know what I was doing. So it's like it's a lot of just kind of learning the most recent one, kind of learning how to block all that out and keep just doing what I'm doing and also like learning how to not be timid about my music because I never even called myself a rapper before. I just didn't really like the connotation that went with that. I feel like everybody's trying to be a rapper and like there's like this like negative connotation that goes with like the term like SoundCloud rapper or something like that, where it's like they expect a certain sound or they kind of just like expect you to be bad because like seems like everybody's trying to be a rapper now. So I kind of wouldn't like calling myself a rapper, but that's what I am. So I kind
Yeah,
of got to start calling myself that.
hey,
But
own it, own it.
yeah.
And we live in such a wonderful time. You talk about cliches. I mean, I'm 52.
Mhm.
Cliches have been around way before I. And let's face it, cliches is what makes a good song. It's what makes a good movie. It's what
Yeah.
makes a good TV show. You can't watch something or listen to something and go, oh, there it is. Like, there it is. Um, Now your music, and because we live in such a diverse world now, is it good for everybody? Could everybody listen to your songs and find something to relate to?
Yeah, I think so. I think I make like as far as like rap or hip hop goes, I feel like my music's pretty accessible. I mean, my parents like it
Good.
and my yeah, they're older and I don't know, it seems like when
How
I do the
dare
open
you?
mics, I didn't say old, I said older. uh when I do like open mics and stuff, I'll do it like at like coffee shops or like um there was one that was like at a church and yeah, people because nobody goes to open mic like, they all go with, like, their guitars and just sing or, like, go with some instruments. So because nobody goes and does that type of music, but my music still is, like, accessible as far as, like, rap music, like, I'm not, like, super heavy auto-tune or I don't know, that stuff that, like, older people don't like. People, like, still clap for me and stuff at the open mics, like, I feel like I don't wanna, like, get ahead of myself or anything, but I feel like I get a bigger applause than most people when I do those open mics. And it's
Nice.
not even that I'm more talented or better than like any of the other people. It's just that nobody's out there doing that kind of music. So it's like a nice change of pace, I think.
We do have a question on the board for you. So it says, how did you find your label?
So CaliKin Records, it's actually an independent label. So we do it through this website, this distribution website called DistroKid. And so for right now, it's three artists. It's me and my friend Amari that like I started rapping with. So we came up with the name together. Actually, he came up with it. It's short for California King, like uh like the mattress,
Like a
cuz
mattress.
cuz we're slept on, and also just like Kings of California. Um, so yeah, we came up with that name, and that's just what we decided to put out our music under. It's like kind of a label, kind of like a music collective. And then our third artist is Spaceman Spliff, but yeah, he I don't know if he's still gonna make music. But yeah, the Spaceman kind of just does his own thing.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's just an independent thing. It's nothing like too official, but hopefully it can be one day.
So Jonah, I'm hoping we have Joey and No Way watching here, and
Yeah,
I don't know if you know them or if they're singers too, but for young people out there, and again, we watch shows like The Voice, American Idol. There's all these shows always coming up about for singing competitions. For somebody that wants to start, no matter what age they are, what could you or how did you decide, okay, this is the image that I want to go in, this is the sound that I want to go in? um, how did you start putting Jonah together? Were there times when it was like, okay, this is not going to work, I can't keep doing that?
yeah, there's a lot of times where it was like that. The first song that I put out, it was definitely like I put it out because like I said, there was other people like at my school and stuff who were doing music and we just wanted to do something better than them. So like we put that out real quick and then I realized like it took a while, but after writing more songs, just like kind of like in a journalistic way, like just like writing how I was feeling and stuff, then I realized like, oh, okay, this is what I want to do. And it took a while to also be able to put that out because it's like I feel like this is like something like so deep in my like in what I'm feeling. I don't know if I want to share that with people because, like I said, I don't really talk to people about like my feelings and stuff. So, like when they listen to this stuff, like I remember like in one of my first projects, it was either my first or my second project. Like my mom told me like, "You sound so sad in your music. Like, why do you always sound so sad?" And it's like I do that over the tracks so that I don't have to take that into my real life, my everyday life. But yeah, there back to the question. There's other times, like I said, when I was like with those doing songs with those people who were like kind of not in my lane. Like I don't know, I kind of just had to figure out like, okay, this isn't the image that I want. And it wasn't till recently. Like I used to have two separate Instagrams, one for my music and one for like myself, just because I kind of treated like my rapping self as like a character or something. Like if it wasn't actually me. And then it wasn't until my last project where I was like, okay, like this is actually me, so I should promote it as myself. So I changed my music Instagram to the CaliKin Records Instagram. So now we just post stuff for all of our artists on that one. And then I just started posting like my music stuff on my personal Instagram.
And then, and you know what? That's very legit. People might not believe this, but I'm actually a little more introverted than people think. Like I don't, I get anxious in big crowds, but my job calls me to be
Yeah.
in crowds. So I just have to be in front of people. It's like, oh, okay, well, you. But then I retreat back to myself, which is kind of cool. And from what I'm listening to you, it's like there's Jonah C that's out there rapping, and then there's Jonah who likes his privacy, which is kind of
Yeah.
cool. We have
Yeah.
another question for you. Do you have music editing producing experience, or did you have it before you started producing your art? And how did you master GarageBand?
Um, no, I didn't have any experience before I started. Honestly, I didn't master GarageBand ever. I stopped using it like before I even got like super good with it. I only made like my first couple songs on there. And then yeah, it was just trial and error after that. I bought this digital audio workstation called Ableton. It's like $200 and it's like it's scary to look at. Like when you first get it, it's scary to look at because of all the stuff that's on there and like it was hard to figure out, and yeah, I still probably didn't even figure that one out all the way. But then I found this website called BandLab, and even though it's a website and not like this $200 workstation that I had previously paid for, it's just a free website. I think it's a lot better. They have like presets on there that you could use, and you could just record. But yeah, mixing and like editing and stuff like that, it's definitely stuff that I'm still learning. I think my last project was like my best. I mean, it's supposed to be like that, I feel like, but that was my best mixed project so far. I think that was the only one where like I could play it on my car speakers and it doesn't sound like horribly produced and recorded. But yeah, I don't think I'd ever mastered it. I'm still figuring it out. And it's just because I'm trying to do it all by myself for the most part. Like I have YouTube, that's like my biggest teacher. But um yeah, I don't really have like actual people like teaching me how to do this stuff or doing it for me or anything. A
But
lot
isn't
of
it
this,
cool when people think you do? Like you put something out, people are like, "Oh
yeah.
my god!" Like, how many people helped you with that? Because I get calls sometimes, and folks are like, "Well, maybe your production team." I'm like, "Yeah, me and my boyfriend, like,
Yeah.
we're the production team. Like, what else do you want?" But because that's a really good lesson for again putting together like I didn't expect this to happen. Where I feel like we're putting together a hey, if you really want to do this, this is how you can do it.
Mhm.
Because I know there's people that go out and spend hundreds, thousands of dollars on something, but if correct me if I'm wrong, if you don't have the heart, if you don't have some talent, if you're really not passionate about it, no matter how many buttons you push, it's not going to happen, right?
Yeah, I feel like that. I feel like you could also tell, like, when somebody is just like talking about stuff that they've never actually experienced or certain things like that. Like, I saw this interview with this producer. His name's Southside, and he produces like trap music. And he says like, if you don't actually come from like all he does is like producing. He doesn't record or anything. But he says like if you don't actually come from like a struggle and like the trap, then then you can hear that in people's beats. Like their drums don't hit the same and stuff. So yeah, I believe that the same with my music. Like if I had started rapping about like I don't know some stuff that I've never lived, I'm pretty sure people would be able to just see right through that.
Yeah, and then that's the beauty of I feel. I mean, I'm not a music producer, creator, or singer at all. I'm a karaoke singer, and I'm not good at that much. So, but I feel like there has to be a. I know what that feels like in your system to do it.
Hmm.
For instance, I like country music. There's a lot of country singers out there that sing about small towns, drinking beer,
Yeah,
the pickup, and people are like, "You're a big celebrity. Like you don't do that." I'm like, "No," but they probably did it at one time.
yeah.
They didn't wake up one morning and be like, "Oh, I'm famous now." Like it
Hmm.
happens. So I want everybody to listen. So we're halfway through the show. So if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and play your track.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to put this up here, and we will play this for you folks.
Okay, let's go.
Ayy, tripping what they don't know. I'm about to go and do it solo, yeah. I ain't trying to take time to get to know ya. And I'm still working that cold, so I fold ya, yeah. Hold up, told y'all we moving different. I've been stacking the tracks so they're more consistent. If I said it on wax, know that it was written on a mission to see it coming to fruition. But I get it, it's coming in late like they hit a pop. I had to wait on the bass. Said that will not say you not with the gang. I don't know what he thought, we not one and the same. She like the fit, how we go with the chain. I be like saying, she said her raps been going insane. She don't like Sosa, but she said, hold up, bang, yeah. Play and release all the way to the bank. I went outside, I can't get that right. Hey, hold on, I got this. Get out of my own pace. Crazy how seeing the tables rotate. I'm in my old state, feeling for some more plays. I'm about to go and let it slide like it's okay, yeah. Hold up, I'm getting ahead of myself in my back for the summer. You can't turn it down. I've been stacking the wall to the tracks of the shelf. Get the cash on my own, then I pass it around. Yeah, yeah. Take off that makeup real cool with the clown, and I keep to myself. But for raps, no, I'm down and I'm ready for anything coming with that. You can't tell me shit, but just checking my hat. Yeah, I'm figuring out my places. I slow down complacency when I see patience. Yeah, you out for the basics. I complaining, I'm out of the matrix. Yeah, they look at me crazy. Still look up, so I'm feeling amazing. Still on type, you know that's what made me. Since a baby, don't need saving. I'll be grinding well into my 80s. And I know some things are bad, they gon' change, but that love for it still give me hope. I'm on that road. I put this dream on my back, cause I know we don't got the same goals. I'm not opposed to the way I've been living. You like motivation, and that got me living. I know y'all been chilling and cool for a minute, but I won't be here for long, don't get it twisted. Yeah, I'ma fumble the bag, I be emotional, y'all got me mad. I get my numbers up, they wasn't having it, they all disappear like a magic trick. Yeah, and there ain't no patching it, you gotta accept that I'm passionate. I had to go, no, I'm passing it, put practicing, I'm passing you. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
I'm trying to take. I was trying to take notes of the lyrics because I didn't get the lyrics. But I was trying to take notes. But let's break down. Let's break down that song first. I know we talked about it a little bit at the beginning, but where were you mentally when you wrote this song?
I was kind of mad. I felt like I had like been counted out a bunch, so I was like kind of upset when I made that song. And I don't know. I don't really like to like brag about things or like make myself seem like I don't know like this. I don't like to put on like the rapper image, I guess. But in that song, like I felt like I could, and like the stuff that I was talking about, like putting. I said like you can't tell me anything. I put your check on my hat, like um like yeah, I just bought an expensive hat at that time, so I was happy with it. And
Literally, like you're like literally, this is what's happening in my life.
yeah, no, everything was like one of the first lines was I'm still working at Kohl's so I could fold you. And yeah, I'm literally working at Kohl's still. So yeah, I don't know. Everything in there is just like is real life. Like I said, it was just like trying to turn my real life into stuff that like or just trying to find like reasons to brag about like my real life, things to be proud of, I guess. Like I said, she liked the fit, how it go with the chain. That was because somebody actually told me that they liked my outfit and how it went with my chain, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna put that in the song. And it's just a lot of that in that song. And I don't know, I feel like I'm pretty like soft spoken most of the time, or I try to be humble. So for that song, I was like, okay, I'm gonna take off the humble hat and put on the rapper hat.
As someone slightly older and has been in, I've been in this business for 18 years, Jose. There comes a time where people will not take you serious unless you take yourself serious. And
Hmm.
at some point, I kept saying always, and take this just as a suggestion, words of wisdom.
Hmm.
Uh, I used to tell people, I'm just a virtual host. I'm just an online. I just do. And one day somebody said, "How many?" Because I used to do a podcast. Like, how many shows do you have? I'm like, about 300. Is that you're not just a podcast host.
Hmm.
You have 300 episodes under your belt. That's a host. And I was like, yeah, that's right. It's like, talk about hats. I'm like, I'm going to take that hat off and minusing my talent and my
Yeah,
abilities. So on this show today, Jonah C, we give you permission to brag a little bit and
yeah,
recognize talent. Because plus, I mean, you've got some people here commenting and watching you that obviously are. We're like talking about Desiree and Noe and Joey. They're all here supporting you. So you've got a following now. So you are an artist.
hmm,
And so I'm gonna just like Tony Gala gave me. I'm gonna hand it over. You, sir, are an artist, and you should own that with
thank
pride.
you.
Because I the first lyric that really stuck out to me when you said, "I keep to myself," and now that I wonder what he means by that.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of like I said, like I'm pretty soft spoken in real life. Like I feel like a lot of people like that I don't know super well, like would never expect me to be doing this, like rapping and stuff. Like I don't tell people that I work with that I do this, and I feel like if I did, they would be blown away because I don't really talk at all when I'm at work. I don't talk at all when I'm at school really. Uh, yeah, I talk to my friends, but I guess I'm more introverted. It's not even like that. like super shy or anything. It's just like a lot of the times I don't really feel a need to talk. Like when I'm at work and stuff, people will be talking all day, and then it's like, I but you're not getting your work done. Like I do everything I can to, because like where I work, it's like if you finish your work quick enough, then you get out earlier. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna just do everything I can to get out as soon as I can, and other people are using it as their social time. But I
Because
don't know.
when you said, when I asked you the beginning of after the song, you were like, I was mad that day,
Yeah.
and then I say, oh, I keep to myself. I the first thing that came to my head, and now I'm analyzing your songs, but I'm like, oh, like he was mad that day. So rather than be mad at the world, I'm gonna keep to myself. Like, because
Yeah.
that's a very me thing. If I'm pissed off, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna keep it quiet for a little bit. I'm gonna keep to myself. So, but then you mentioned the Matrix too, which I mean everybody has an idea of the Matrix is.
Mhm.
What did the Matrix mean for you in this song?
Um, I was just kind of saying it like I'm outside of like I don't know, like I'm just on something different, I guess. Like I'm outside of the realm that these other people like that might be my peers exist in. And it's like you think that this is like you think that you have like the whole world of like music figured out and everything, but it's like I'm just doing something different, and like you're probably not going to understand that because you think that you have it figured out and you think that I'm doing it wrong, but it's like we're just doing something different. So
Gotcha. That's pretty cool. Well, I'm gonna go back and listen to your whole album, but those two lines kept like really. I don't understand a lot of rap sometimes,
mhm.
but as I'm listening to your song, just a praise to you is I keep to myself in the Matrix. Those two things stuck to me. It's like, yeah, like there's times when this is what your song brought out of my head.
Mhm.
Sometimes I keep to myself and I feel like I'm in an alternate world where nobody understands me.
Yeah.
And so just so you know that for somebody who does not follow rap, your song spoke to me right now. I was like, oh wow, like yeah, like this 19-year-old kid like understands what I'm going through. Like
Yeah,
that's pretty,
that's the goal.
yeah, that's pretty cool. For everybody out there, thank you for commenting. No, no way commented this. Can you? Does this make sense to you? Can you explain it to us?
Um, I think that's supposed to be like an emoji or something, and it just
Oh,
put
is
it
that what he did?
in that way. Yeah,
I thought
I'm
it
not
was
really
part of
sure.
one of your song lyrics. I'm like, well, that's a pretty good lyric. Well,
No,
you're welcome to have it. It's incorporated somewhere in your lyrics.
no.
Just to let No Way know that if those were emojis, that did not come through, but we got you on here. So
Yeah, I don't know what you're saying, no way.
yeah, I was like, is that a code for something? Did it mean something? Um, we're getting to the part of the show where I like my guest to. Oh, here you had another comment. Oh, somebody else here. Uh,
Yeah, there's a mask in the back over there. That's from another rapper.
oh, is it? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
If we're watching, if you were, see people pay attention to what's going on. Thank you
yeah.
for watching, Gabe. Good to have you on the show. We're hitting that part of the show where I like my guests to share some words of wisdom with our people watching. What words of wisdom do you have for the audience, Jonah C?
Um, I don't really know. I don't have much to offer, but I guess something that I would say is like if you want to do stuff and you have a vision, then just do it yourself because nobody's gonna understand your vision like you do. And it's like, especially with my last album, like one of the reasons that, so I had it finished in like September of 2022, and I didn't put it out until like February 2023 because I couldn't find somebody to do the cover art for me. And that like took a really long time to find somebody. And then after a while, I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna learn Photoshop and do it myself. So then I just learned Photoshop real quick, or I didn't really learn it, but I learned the bare minimum to do what I needed to do. And I made like 4 different arts, and then I just picked one that I liked a lot, and I feel like it kind of represents the album pretty well. So yeah, just if you want to learn things, just do it yourself because I mean things are expensive too. Like if you want to pay for somebody to do your cover arts or like pay for somebody to mix and master your stuff, it's gonna get pretty pricey, and it's a lot cheaper to just put in the time and do it yourself. And putting in the time is also like you gotta do your like due diligence. So yeah, it's kind of like the same way you study for a test. You just gotta study this and do it yourself. And um yeah, I mean everybody, or not everybody, but a lot of people have the resources to be doing this. Like I said, I started out with just my phone and my headphones, and I have friends who are still doing it on their phones and their headphones, and it sounds great. You just gotta make the most of what you have, and if you actually have a vision and a dream, then just go for it because you probably have the resources to do it. And if not, then I don't know. There's other ways. You can just still be going to open mics and stuff. Still be doing things your way.
Yeah. And let me tell you, that's exactly how to do it. When I was podcasting, I would take my phone with me. I bought these $7 plug-in two-way microphones, and I would go to people's places or find them somewhere and be like, "Hey, let's podcast." They're like, "You have things to record with?" I'm like, "Yep, right here. There's the microphone. Like, plug it in." And were they the best? No. Were there people that had big microphones? Because I would go and be guests on people's shows, and they were like, "Here's your microphone and your earphones." And I was like, I don't have that money. Like, I can't
Yeah.
do that. But I want to do this, and I'll build my brand slowly. And I think that's one of the coolest ways. I mean, again, if you have the money, by all means. But I've
Yeah.
learned to edit in my own videos, and I've learned to put them together. So good for you, man. That's definitely the way. Well said. Yeah, of course. Yeah, this was great words of wisdom. Uh, oh, Jonah C skit album next.
Yeah, I might have a couple skits in there. I need Gabe to write them though. Gabe's the writer. Gabe writes like film and stuff like that. So I need Gabe to storyboard my next album for me.
Nice. So we'll be seeing some Jonah C videos coming up.
Yeah, definitely. I have one recorded right now, but like I said, like trying to learn how to do everything myself. I didn't want to pay somebody to shoot a video for me. So I have it all recorded, and I'm just trying to learn how to use Adobe Premiere right now to be able to edit it and just have it exactly the way that I want it to.
Well,
But
let me tell you, if you have the raw video and you want to jump on a call with me, we'll do a video call and I will help you edit your video. I'm
all
not
right.
I'm not that bad at video editing. I've done a couple of things in my time, but I would love to collaborate with you and like put a video out and help you out. So
Yeah, that'd be great.
yeah,
Yeah, I've been
you can just put me in your next video and we'll do it.
all right, yeah, you get a little cameo.
Just saying. I
Yeah.
mean, you might need a reporter in there somewhere. But yeah, I mean, let's connect, and I would love to help you edit it the best way that I know how. We have another question on the board for you. Where did this just do it thought process come from, Jonah? Have you always been this self-motivated?
I don't even know if I wouldn't even consider myself like super self-motivated. I feel like I'm pretty timid with it. I think it helps to be able to like hide behind a screen most of the time. Like I just put something out and then um like I don't really see like everybody's reaction at first. So like there's probably a lot of people who don't like it, but I don't really hear about it. So I don't know. I don't really know where it came from. I guess it's just never really been like that scary for me to put it out. It's just always been something that I've been passionate about. So like that kind of like I don't know supersedes everything else. Like the negativity that could be associated with it. But I don't know. I don't know where that attitude came from. And it's like people will ask me like, "Oh, you don't get scared when you do like open mics and stuff?" And it's like yeah, but like on a normal level, I feel like I get like just a little nervous right before, and then the payout is everybody clapping, and that's what I live for that stuff.
Yeah. That's like I do stand-up comedy, and as soon as I hear that first laugh,
Mm-hmm.
my nerves just start to melt away. I'm like, okay, good.
Yeah.
I've got them now. Let's go for this.
Mm-hmm.
But was there somebody that influenced you growing up? Parents, teachers, friends that were like
Um,
pushed you
it's
or like supported you when you wanted to do stuff?
It's definitely always helped to have my friend Amari. His name's Wolf. He's been on every one of my albums. He's always just been doing it with me. Like I said, like when I was in 7th grade, we would go to my friend Jose's house, just me and him, and we would just record stuff on Jose's computer. And so yeah, it's always helped to have him there. He uh he released music before I did, and I guess I don't really know what it was. It was just we kind of just went for it. I think we just felt like we had something from the start. So it was it was like obviously this isn't like our fully like realized vision yet, but I mean you got to start somewhere. So might as well just get people introduced to us now. And
For those of you watching, find that friend, find that one
yeah.
friend that like will, is it the ride or die guy person
Hmm.
in your life, but that's somebody that will also be honest with you, not just somebody that just claps at everything you do.
Yeah,
That
100%.
will look at you in the eye and go, that sucked. Like that
Yeah.
was not good. Otherwise, like, what's the point?
Yeah.
They're asking you a question. House show soon.
Whose house?
All
Not
right, Gabe.
mine.
Gabe, are we
Yeah, we're invited to Gabe's house for the house
we're invited
show.
to party at Gabe's house? We'll be there
Yeah.
tonight. Who's bringing the pizza? ¿Dónde están los tacos? My Christian, my director boyfriend, is like that. You just sounded really old. Like, shut up. People still eat pizza. Hush.
Yeah, I like pizza.
um, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show this. Pull up the banner. This is Jonah's Instagram. Go check it out. Let me bring up your YouTube so that people can subscribe to your YouTube as well.
Yeah.
What all do you have on your Instagram?
So right now, hold on, I don't even know. I don't use it that much. I should use it more. I'm really bad at promoting my stuff. Um, so it's literally just the most recent picture is saying that my last album came out. Before that, it was saying that Spaceman Spliff's album or EP came out. Before that, it's a picture or a video of Wolf rapping in his car, Amari, my friend, and the one before that is a video of me from my first open mic.
Gotcha. And I want to say thank you to Noe and Joey for supporting me with the pizza party. My director, yeah, I can call my director like you're sounding old. People hey pizzas make parties. So I'm just gonna
Pizza's
say that.
generational.
We'll do tacos, but okay, we'll do pizza in this case. Here is the long version of his YouTube page. So go check it out. There is the YouTube, but it's linked. Your link tree is on your Instagram,
Yeah,
and then the link tree will take you to your YouTube. Correct?
yeah. Take
So
it
yeah,
everything. My
just
music's on
follow.
all streaming services: Spotify, Apple Music, the Amazon, like everywhere that you can listen to music, you can find my music. Just Jonah C. I meant what I said, but I'm sorry I said it. Just look it up, give it a listen.
Yeah, so go follow him on Instagram. Go find his YouTube, like him there. Let's get his subscriptions up and get him noticed. Then go follow him on all of those streaming services. Uh, what's next for Jonah? Where do we go from here?
Before my last release, it had been like probably another year or two since I released anything. So I'm just trying to keep the momentum going for now. I feel like I got a lot of motivation from my last project, and my last project was like the first one where I was actually like very proud of. And I feel like the stuff that I'm still making now is stuff that I'm super proud of. So I'm just trying to I want to not wait so long before I put out more stuff. I'm trying to work on that video for the song Care. It's coming out sooner than later, hopefully. And then I'm trying to just keep releasing more music, whether it's like a whole project or just like one song at a time. I just want to keep the support going and growing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Any live events where we can find you?
I do open mics sometimes. The Night Owl in Fullerton. Uh, yeah, I try to go out there. I would love to do some kind of like solo show or something. Or I feel like I could get like at least all my friends to come, which would be great for me. But yeah, I don't know. I'd love to set that up, but I don't really have a venue, I guess. So right now it's just open mics.
I found the website for night on.
Yeah, and there's also this guy on Instagram. His Instagram is like Rod Harrison. He hosts a lot of open mics that I go to. Like there's one that he does like at this church, and another one he used to host the ones at the Night Owl, but he doesn't anymore. I don't know what happened. But yeah, he his Instagram's Rod Harrison 66. So if you see him posting about some open mics, then it's likely that you could catch me there.
Cool. And what night are the open mics at the Night
At the
Owl?
Night Owl, they're Tuesdays.
Tuesdays. Okay.
Yeah.
So for everybody watching, Tuesday nights at the Night Owl, the show music begins at 7 p.m. hosted by Rod Harrison. And if you want to sign up, you need to be there by 6 o'clock to participate open mic. You must make a purchase the day of the event. There you go. Keep your receipts
Yeah.
and so just go support. Number one, go support the Night Owl. If
Mhm.
you are a musician, sign up to sing, and then if you're not, if you're just gonna go support Jonah, please let us know the next time you'll be there, and so we can announce it and put it on our pages.
All right, yeah, that'd be great.
Any last words before we go?
Thank you for having me. Thank you everybody who commented, everybody else who watched. I appreciate it. It's nice to see the love.
Of course. Thank you so much first of all, thank you for trusting us and being part of the show and coming on. Again, thank you, Tony Gala, for referring.
Yeah.
Anybody out there, if you have a put it together story, or if you know somebody that has put it together story, send them our way. Whatever channel you're watching us, just send me a message and we'll do it. Would say one step video coming soon. Gabe?
Yeah, he started filming that. We filmed like 5 seconds of the video, and that's the last I heard about it. So hopefully it's coming soon, Gabe.
All right, Gabe. We don't want to call you out, but we're calling you out. What's the video?
We're gonna hold you to this.
But as soon as that video is done, just come and make a special appearance on the show, and we'll showcase it here. Make sure that people know about it. We'd love to have you back.
All right.
Don't go anywhere. I'm going to put you in the green room for a second while I say goodbye to everybody. For everybody watching, thank you so much for being part of the show today. It's always really cool being an older generation to bring in younger folks doing their thing. For those of you, I hope you took away from this that it doesn't matter how old you are, whether you're 19 or 52, but if there's something in your dreams or in your goals that you want to manifest, you have visions for, just go for it. All it takes is a little strategy. Just do that. Take that first step, whatever it is. If you're doing music, if you're doing videos, if you want to be a chef, just that one step. Do that one thing, and it'll get you closer to your dreams and goals. Stop planning on it. Just go out there and do it. For everybody watching, I want to thank you for watching on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Please share this on your page so that other people can watch with you. If you're watching us on YouTube, do us a favor, scroll down to subscribe, hit the notification bell to let you know every time there's a new show on the air. On Mondays, we've got the horoscopes coming out on our social media pages. On Wednesdays, join us at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern for the Christian and Daniel show. On Fridays, we've got Zodiacs with myself and Richard Wayne Kilgo II at 6, 9 Eastern. And then come back on Saturday mornings and join us. Grab a cup of coffee. Join us at noon for Put It Together, and where we have a special guest, new special guest every week. And remember, if you hit that notification bell, it'll let you know whenever we have a pop-up show come up. So don't miss any of the shows and join us. For now, I want to thank all of you for joining us. This is Daniel Garza saying, hey, put it together. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.